Regirock is now a raid boss in Pokemon Go. It will be available to us as a Tier 5 raid boss until September 20th. Sounds kind of boring because Machamp's going to be the best counter once again. Same raid for 3 months. But we do have Celebi quests coming in, and we're all pretty sure Gen 4 is dropping soon, so keep some intrigue up. But Regirock is here. We have to deal with it. You might want the swag tips. So here's a clip from my live stream swag tips where I go over the hard numbers on the rock. So we got the Regirock raid, and the only thing you really need to know is Machamp. Machamp's super crazy good in this fight, actually even crazier than I initially thought it would be in this fight. If you remember my super old content from, I think it's like 6 months ago now, when I covered every single Regi raid and the Laddie twins just ahead of time because we had the Game Master and we knew we'd get them eventually, right? So I covered all of them all the way back then, and Machamp wasn't that crazy at that time, and the reason why is because we didn't have friendship. But with the friendship boosts and like friendship poised kind of breakpoints and stuff like that, Machamp is actually really crazy good for this fight. It actually really impressed me, and it impressed me so much that in the previous Regi raids I combined the fighting type Pokemon since they all have counter dynamic punch, but this one I decided to separate them just to define clearly that Machamp is just different from them and much better. It is the Supreme. And you'll see this in the upcoming graphs. Then the next Supreme we have here is Kyogre. And there is a light debate in the community on who the best Regirock counter is. I feel it's Machamp, but I also agree that Kyogre is quite good. It's if you're going with great friendship, then Kyogre is marginally worse than Machamp. But if you're going with ultra friendship, then Kyogre is marginally better than Machamp. And if you go to Kyogre's Ascended Ultra Friend Breakpoint at level 39.5, then it's crazy good and just much, much better than Machamp. So under those conditions, Kyogre will be way better than Machamp, but overall I'd say they're about even. And if you have a bunch of maxed out Kyogres and an Ultra Friend with you at all times, well, you're going to be using that anyways. But if you don't have that and you're on a budget, then Machamp is golden. You got Groudon, and Groudon's extra tanky. I kind of wanted to give it the Supreme distinction as well, but its DPS was so much lower than them and its TDO was so much higher than them that I felt the tank distinction was a better pick. But when it comes to comparison to these good picks over here, its DPS is in league with them. It's the same level of DPS. So Groudon is an extremely good option for this fight. And if you got the Sunny Weather boost, the Clear Weather boost, then it is clearly a supreme option for the fight, better than everything else. Breloom has near Machamp level DPS. Not quite Machamp level DPS, but close enough. But it is much less tanky than Machamp. It can't handle the hits as well, so it's a glass cannon. Venusaur is quite good. It doesn't have as good DPS as like Breloom and Machamp and Kyogre, but it's got really good DPS nonetheless, but only with the Frenzy Plant. And because of Hariyama's performance and how easy it is to obtain a Machamp or a Hariyama, I chose to just, single out Frenzy Plant rather than include Solar Beam, because just to drive home that Frenzy Plant is how you get on the level of Hariyama. And if you don't have Frenzy Plant, then you should probably use Hariyama. Unless, of course, it's sunny outside, right? Then it's also really good. And if you don't have a whole bunch of these guys powered up, we do have the alternative options down here. And I'll be highlighting them in the upcoming graphs to, single them out more, let you know what's going on. The catch CP for Regirock is 1682 to 1764. The boosted CP, boosted by partly cloudy weather, is 2103 to 2205. You can do this raid with 4 people pretty comfortably if you're all using strong Machamps, but you might want to have 6 or more people to do it comfortably, especially if you don't know the people. You may have seen this on the Sylph Road already. I made sure to tweet it out, but my friend Bioweapon from the Game Press team made a fun little meme infographic. He's been doing this quite a bit lately. I think he started with Regice. Just letting you guys know what weather is the most optimal counter. Alright, let's get into the counter graphics here. Alright, so this is all the counters to Regirock graphed out using Go Battle Sim, Game Press's Battle Simulator. So it's level 40 counters unless specified otherwise, like this level 33 Machamp here that's eclipsing level 40 Machamp. and it's against all of Regirock's movesets averaged. None of these counters are dodging, and they have a great friendship. And as far as I could tell, only Kyogre had an Ultra Friend breakpoint. So Ultra Kyogre is specified up here, but everything else is Great Friend. Alright, so yeah, if you look at this, you can see, as the as the simplified graphic has shown, that Machamp's the bomb, like super good, even at level 33. And you might be curious, level 33, is that a breakpoint for Machamp? No, it's not. Machamp's breakpoint is at level 38, and then it has another breakpoint that's so early, it's like in the 20s, that you're going to already be hitting it anyways. So what's up with level 33 Machamp? Well, that is a bulk point. And taking a closer look at this specific bulk point, because it was quite astounding that, you know, a level 33 Machamp would be as good as the level 41, it's that Machamp is going to have enough HP where it's going to survive 2 charge moves from Regirock on average, and then it'll be able to turn that damage from the second charge move into another dynamic punch, and then it would feint from the subsequent fast move from Regirock. And if you guys know how DPS works, on these graphs, what I'm showing you is their average DPS. When you use a charge move, that's a DPS spike, so your DPS goes like way up on average. But then every fast move you use after that, it's doing damage to the raid boss, it's contributing to beating the clear, but your average DPS goes down. That's not a bad thing, but it just looks much more impressive on the graphs when you have that DPS spike and then you go out as a hero like level 33 Machamp. So that is something to be mindful of and work towards. I think level 33, assuming perfect IVs, because bulk points are based on your HP and your defense, level 33 is a good cutoff point if you're not looking to overinvest for the Regirock raid. Now you can see on the right here, the Ultra Friend breakpoint does make Kyogre better than Machamp. Breloom, near Machamp levels of DPS. It's actually slightly better than level 33 Machamp at level 40, but you know, not super impressive, kind of rare and hard to power up these guys compared to a Machamp in my opinion. So usually best sticking with the Machamps. When you go to the lower right, you can see all the Groudons. And yeah, so the Groudon DPS isn't that bad. It's 11 DPS, so that is helping contribute to a 4-man clear just about. If you're curious to figure out how many people you need to beat a raid boss with the DPS and all that kind of stuff, you need an average of about 42. So it's kind of safe to go with a little margin of error, you know, make it like 43, 44 because stuff happens, right? And then you just divide that by the number of people you want to beat the raid boss with. So if you divide that comfortable 44 by 4, then you get 11, and that's the comfortable 44. So you can get away with Earthquake Groudon there, right? But yeah, Solar Beam, better than Earthquake. RIP ground type charge moves in Pokemon Go. Like if you look down here and you see these Pokemon that are usually recognized as being tanky in raids, like Metagross and Ho-Oh and like Rhydon and Donphan, they will be more tanky than you know, Hariyama and stuff against specific movesets. But at the end of the day, this is 9 DPS, which is, it's not bad. I think you can still do like a 5-man clear with that, but you may as well just use Hariyama. That's my feelings on that situation there. So yeah, you can see where all the chips fall for everything else. So the next graph is going to feature a lot of the same Pokemon and a lot of the same scenario, but it's just going to be a more focused view. So let's get to that. So this is Regirock counter. It's all movesets once again. It's essentially the same graph, but instead of having a buttload of Pokemon, I included the breakpoints and bulk points of some of the key Pokemon on the graph. So level 27.5 is a breakpoint for Groudon. It's not that you have to be level 40 to be this good. It's just that after 27.5, your gains in power for Groudon are going to be, you know, more incremental, like step by step, like baby steps up to here. Where when you have breakpoints or bulk points for Pokemon, it's like a massive leap, like 29.5, bam, level 33. That's pretty crazy. But here you got baby steps to get to where Solar Beam Groudon is at the top. And these breakpoints are based on great friendship. So if you have Ultra Friendship, then you can hit this at a slightly lower level, and if you've got less than great friendship, then you have to be at a slightly higher level to hit these, which is why we got breakpoint calculators, right? So here we got Regirock counters, all movesets, but now we have clear weather. So any grass type or ground type attacks are going to be boosted here, and as such, as you can see, basically all the grass type and ground types are doing a bit better in this fight than they were doing before. Actually, a lot better. They're doing a lot better in this fight than they were doing before. Yeah, upper right here, you can see Groudon, crazy super tall up there with its solar beam, best DPS, super high TDO, just overall the best package of a Pokemon you could ever want in clear weather. But it is a Groudon, so it is a bit of a steep investment to power one up very far. You'll see that the level 30 here has a little asterisk next to it. This isn't a bulk point, this isn't a break point. Basically, Groudon's break point is so low, and it doesn't meet any break points for so long, and because it's so tanky, you really can't point out where the exact level of significance is for the bulk points. I just put it there as an arbitrary number, just like this is what level 30 looks like, just to give you something to base it off of. Here we got Frenzy Plant Venusaur, still being taller than Solar Beam Venusaur. And actually, this was another point of distinction for me with the Frenzy Plant Venusaur in my basic kind of graphic to promote to people. And that is, if you are using Solar Beam Venusaur and it's clear outside, well, you're still going to be doing a bit better or as well with Machamp. So at the end of the day, Machamp is the best investment for this raid. Aside from Kyogre and Groudon, giving specific situations. So Regirock counters in the rain. And yeah, you didn't need me to tell you this. Kyogre is just insane in the rain. Level 30, better than everything else. Actually, I'm pretty sure you could do the 3-man with level 30 Kyogres. Don't quote me on this, I can't do quick math. You might want some higher level Kyogres just to smooth it out, but yeah, level 30 Kyogres are the soft kind of point for doing the 3-man in the rain, right? So Kyogre, you just water type monster, you. Alright, now just like with Kyogre in the rainy weather, I don't think you guys need me to tell you that Machamp is just crazy in cloudy weather, right? So yeah, here's Machamp standing super tall in cloudy weather. The level 32 is a break point, and I didn't include bulk points because once you bring weather boosts involved with the bulk points, unless it's like really dire or a really specific raid or something like that where it's necessary to highlight them, then I would, but this fight's easy enough where I feel like just going with the break point here is all you really need to know. The gap isn't that wide between them. So yeah, level 32 Machamp, all those level 33 Machamps that you had from neutral weather are going to be pimping here. So good job Machamp, good job being the best fighting type to this date. Actually, if you guys want a sneaky little preview of Gen 4, we don't have Game Master information on Game 4, wow. We don't have Game Master information on Gen 4, but we do know what moves these Pokemon learn in the main series games. And the moves they learn in the main series games are the moves that they could possibly get in Go. And yeah, they're all having a hard time. The two ringleaders for fighting types in Gen 4 is Gallade, which is a split evolution from Kirlia, probably said that name wrong. And then we have Lucario, which is a fan favorite of the franchise. And yeah, they just don't get the right moves. I can't say which ones do and don't get Dynamic Punch and do and don't get Counter, but the cards just aren't lining up for them in the future looking at them. So barring any unforeseen Game Master changes, John Hankey could come in and nerf Dynamic Punch for no good reason, right? If something like that were to happen, then of course Machamp's running would get, gimped right there. But looking at Gen 4, with the moves we have now, Machamp's really not going anywhere. It's going to continue to be the best fighting type unless Niantic singles one of those two fighting types out and purposefully tries to make them super strong. But even then, Machamp's stats are Machamp's just got a lot going for it going forward. That was a clip from my live stream SwagTips. SwagTips streams every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Twitch channel SwagTips. Starting on August 28th, live stream hours will actually be on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. So got that one awkward week where I have to do the closing like this, right? Yeah. If you got any questions on this content, comment below, let me know, and I'll help you out. And if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more like it, well then make sure to subscribe to SwagTips.
Swag.